So I think that most of you guys are pretty well aware that we've been through an absolute rendezvous when it comes to keeping clownfish in our saltwater tank. Now I said in not last video, but the video before last, that I was going to be getting rid of my hawkfish because I was thinking that he was the culprit of what was happening to a lot of these clownfish. You see, what he started to do is over time he started to become a lot more aggressive towards the clownfish. Like he'd be just chilling down there on the rocks and then all of a sudden just dart up there after them and start pecking the crap out of them. And those clownfish, they would eventually jump out of the tank, like not outside of the tank, but back in the back part of the tank in the filter area. So I did go ahead and take the hawkfish back to the store this past weekend, and he's doing great. He was already eating like an hour after being back in the tank, so he's doing just fine. But today we are getting our new clownfish for the tank, and they're gonna be pretty big. They're pretty decent sized clownfish. They've been in the store for a few weeks now, and they look really, really good. So here's the tank. It's looking pretty nice. Let me stop zooming in, but it's looking pretty good. We don't have any fish here right now, just a few crabs and snails. But all three of our corals are looking great. They're still kind of opening up this morning. But yeah, our zoanthias, our candy canes, and the hammers, they're all looking great. These particular clownfish are called snowflake clownfish, and believe it or not, these were actually the original type of clownfish that I wanted to get for the saltwater tank back about a year or so ago when I first set up the tank. So I'm not going to do any more talking. I'm going to head over to the store right now, and we're going to get our two clownfish. Let's do it. So I'm now back with the clownfish, and I know that was a pretty quick trip and all, but yeah, there's actually 3 of the clowns, and I just went ahead and picked the 2 best looking ones. They all look great, but I just went with the 2 that were a little bit bigger and a little bit darker orange. So I've already got them acclimating right here, but just to give you guys a little bit better look at them, check them out, check them out. They're gonna show up so good in here because of their size, and they just look great, honestly. There's the other guy right there. So I'm gonna let these guys acclimate for about 20 to 25 minutes or so, get used to the temperature and all that, and also kind of the look of the tank. There's one of our 3 really bright rosy bars that we got a few days ago. Those guys are doing really, really good in here. There's another one back there in the back, and there's the other guy right there. So yeah, they're all doing great. I mean, look how well they stand out in here. They look great. And if you look really closely through the guppy grass, you can see one of our 10 blue velvet shrimp right there. And let's see if I can find any more. They're really, really hard to spot. Oh, there's one of them right back there. But yeah, they're all doing really, really good. It's just hard to spot them. You have to really be looking for them. But both of the female guppies are back pregnant, about to have another batch of babies. I mean, they just keep on having babies in there. You can see one of them right there. And look how big the babies are getting now. Check that out. It's now been about 20 minutes, and both of these guys are ready to get out of these bags. So let's go and get them out and into the new tank. First one going in. There he is. Check him out. Like I said, these guys are going to show up great in here because of how big they are, and the bright color of orange contrasting with the white, and they're going to look great in here. Alright, let's get the second one. Alright, and there's the second one, and they're now both in. Check them out. Meeting up with each other now, and they're probably going to stick by each other's side because, of course, that's how they were in the tank. And you can see them just trying to figure out where in the heck they're at because, of course, we just put them in here, but I think these guys are going to do great in here. Really big, healthy, and they show up great too. Now, clownfish usually don't eat for the first few days when you put them into a new tank, or if they do eat, it's not very much. So I think what I'm going to do is give these guys a few days to kind of settle into their new tank, get used to everything, check everything out. I'll give you guys an update on them in a few days and see how well they're eating then. It's now been about 2 days since we got the 2 new clownfish, and they're doing really, really good in the tank. I actually tried to feed them a little bit that same night when we put them into the tank, and they were already eating a few pieces. Now yesterday, they started to eat even more, and these guys, they just look great in here. I mean, look at that from afar. You see how well they show up in here. and they're doing amazing in here. So I've got a little bit of frozen mysis shrimp right here. We're gonna go and feed these guys a little bit, let you guys watch them eat, and they're eating really, really good. And it's only been about 2 days, like I said, since they've been to the tank. You can see I'm getting a few little pieces right there. Check that out. Doing great. Give them a few bigger pieces, and look at them go. Check that out. They are doing awesome in here. So now that we have the 2 clownfish in here, I think the next fish that we're going to add in here is going to be a Royal Grama, and then we'll probably have 1 other fish in there after the Royal Grama, and that'll pretty much complete the saltwater tank as far as fish. Now, as far as corals, of course, we have the 3 corals in there right now. We got the candy canes, the hammers, and the zoanthids. I want to add more coral. I'm not sure exactly what I want to add just yet, so I'm going to let those guys probably settle into the tank for a little bit longer, and then probably in about a week or 2 or so, then we'll add the Royal Grama, and then I'll probably start thinking about some other type of coral that I want to add into the tank. But we definitely have a lot more room in the tank for a coral. I mean, you see all the spaces and all the little nooks and crannies on the rocks. And I really want to fill this tank up with the coral. Not make it overcrowded looking, because I do want the main focal point of the tank to be the fish. But I also want to have a nice looking tank. And you can see a little bit of light shading of that dino coming back. But our little conch, he's not as good as that huge one that we used to have in here. But he's kind of keeping it under control. He's not letting it get really, really bad in here. Because a few months back, I had a really, really bad problem in here. I mean, some of you guys remember how bad this stuff was. And it's a little bit worse in the middle area of the tank right there. But the little conch, let's see if I can find him. Yeah, I'm not going to find that guy right now. He's probably buried somewhere. But he comes out every few days or so, especially when this stuff starts to get a lot darker and a lot thicker. And he kind of just makes his way around the tank and really cleans it up to the best of his ability. I mean, he's only like that big. He's no bigger than the big turbo snails back there. So this tank is definitely a pretty big job for him. And we'll give the 2 baby frontosa a few little pieces of mysis as well. Look at these guys go. Like I said, these guys are little pigs when it comes to eating. Look at them go. I like to put a little bit of extra in here for these guys, a few extra pieces, because they like to kind of hunt in between the rocks out through the day and stuff. And they will find every little piece. But that is pretty much going to do it for now. So if you guys did enjoy today's video, please be sure to leave a like down below. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Next video, we're setting up the guppy deck pond, the outside guppy pond. It's going to be freaking amazing. I've learned a lot of things from, when we set it up last summer to this summer. And I think it's going to do great. And we're just going to, breed as many guppies as possible this summer. And also pretty soon, I'm going to be getting the crayfish for this tank. As I mentioned in the last video, the site finally emailed me back saying that they got the crayfish back in stock, and I went ahead and ordered that crayfish, and it should be here within probably 2 or 3 days. So that'll be really, really cool when that crayfish finally comes in for that tank, because like I said, it is going to be a really, really cool crayfish. I think you guys are going to absolutely love it. So stay tuned, we got a lot to come, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.